Hello everyone, and welcome to Babylon Leather's official channel. Today, we'll be crafting a leather barrel bag. Here is the display of the finished result. First, inspect all materials. If any issues arise, contact Babylon Official Support. If there are no issues, please start making. Take the two side pieces, the two shoulder strap keepers, and the two D-rings. Measure 6 times the length of the material, then cut the thread. Each time, you can measure a bit more thread to ensure that there is more than enough available. Start threading the needle by first passing the thread through the needle's eye. Then, pass the needle tip through the middle of the thread. Tighten it, and that completes the threading of the needle. Thread the other needle using the same method. Distinguish the front and back of the leather pieces by looking at the holes: larger holes for the front, smaller holes for the back. Align the holes with the side panel material, making sure the front side of the side panel is facing up. Then take the two shoulder strap keepers and two D-rings, and assemble them like this. Make sure the inner sides of the shoulder strap keepers are aligned, with the rounded side of the hardware exposed. Align the holes with the side panel material, making sure the front side of the side panel is facing up. Begin sewing by threading the first needle through the first pinhole. Then, let the second needle pass through the neighboring pinhole. Pull both threads to ensure they remain the same length. Next, have the first needle go through the second hole, then tighten the thread. Be careful not to catch the thread. Tighten the thread, and now we have successfully started sewing. Then keep sewing with the double needle sewing method. After each stitch, tighten the thread while maintaining a consistent stitching direction. Be careful not to catch the thread. Don't skip any holes. Make sure to pull the thread vertically to avoid damaging the leather material. Make sure to pay attention to these details during each sewing step. No more hints will be provided later. After sewing, secure the thread. Begin by sewing one additional stitch backward to reinforce. Then, pull the thread to the back. Leave a 3 mm thread tail, cut it, and use a lighter to burn the end to secure the thread. Slow down to avoid blackening the thread end or burning the leather. Use the same method to sew the other one. Take a look at the result after both sides have been sewn. Take for zipper tape materials and 1 zipper material. The tape materials are placed at both ends of the zipper like this. The side of the zipper material where the puller is located is the front. This is the back. The leather side of the zipper tape material is the front. The fiber side is the back. Measure twice the length of the thread and thread the needles as usual. Ensure the third hole of the zipper aligns with the first hole of the zipper tape. Both sides of the zipper tape should have the front facing outward. Start sewing. You need to pass through 3 layers of material. Be careful not to stitch through the wrong holes. Then keep sewing with the double needle sewing method. It would be better to secure it with a clip before sewing. Ensure to align the holes before fixing. Ensure that the tension of the stitches here is even and not too tight. Otherwise, this part of the finished bag may become wrinkled. Ensure that when stitching through the third hole, you pass the needle through the middle or sides of the zipper, avoiding the teeth of the zipper. Leave a 3 mm thread tail, cut it, and use a lighter to burn the end to secure the thread. Slow down to avoid blackening the thread end or burning the leather. Take a look at the result after sewing. Use the same method to sew the other one. The zipper material should be facing up, and the main body material should also be facing up. Assemble them like this, aligning the holes. Sew the 2 rows of holes separately. Start with the first row. Measure 4 times the length of the material and thread the needles normally. Start sewing. For the first stitch, insert the needle from the bottom to the top through the first hole of the main body material. For the second stitch, first insert the needle from the bottom to the top through the first hole of the zipper material. Then pass it from the bottom to the top through the second hole of the main body material. Then, continue sewing forward as usual. It would be better to secure it with a clip before sewing. Ensure to align the holes before fixing. The last hole in this row should also be sewn through only the main body material. Once finished, secure the thread on the back. Start sewing the second row of holes. Make sure the first stitch goes through the first hole of the zipper tape and the corresponding first hole of the main body material. Then proceed to stitch the rest of this row of holes normally, using the same method for the last hole. After sewing, secure the thread at the back. After sewing, fold the body material as shown, ensuring both materials are facing the back with the zipper material on top. Align according to the holes. Use the same method to sew this part. It will not be demonstrated here. Take a look at the result after sewing. Take the piping strip material, the piping cord material, and the side materials. First, remove the piping cord material. Compare the length of the piping cord material with the piping strip material. The length of the piping cord should be twice the length of the piping strip. Cut the piping cord in half from the middle. Find the marked holes on the main body material. The marked holes should align with the middle of the zipper. The marked hole is much larger than the other holes. Make a mark like this. Find the marked hole on the side material and make a mark there as well. Measure out 4 times the length of the thread and thread the needles as usual. Place the 2 materials with their front sides together, aligning them according to the marked holes. Start sewing from the marked hole on the side material. Begin from the right side and stitch through the 3rd hole from the bottom up. Then check if the piping strip is even. If it's not, trim it as needed. Then fold the piping strip in half with the insides facing each other, and pass it through the 3rd hole, making sure the orientation is correct. Then pass it through the 3rd hole of the main body material. Use the same sequence for the second stitch and sew to the right. Then insert the piping cord like this, ensuring it is placed behind the stitches at the innermost part of the piping strip. Make sure the piping cord is slightly exposed. Then sew to the right in the same manner. Note that each stitch should be tightened as you go to ensure a neat finish. Check if the stitches align with the marking holes as you reach them. If they align correctly, continue sewing as usual. If not, you will need to remove the stitches and redo them. There's enough thread. First, check the finished result. After each stitch, tighten the thread. Don't skip any holes. You can guide the needle through the leather layer by layer on the corner, which makes it easier. The thread through this marked hole should go through the center of the zipper teeth. Towards the end of sewing, trim any excess piping cord, leaving enough to connect the remaining piping cord on both sides. Be careful not to cut it too short. Stop when you have 4 holes remaining to the left of the marking hole. Stop when you reach the 4th hole from the marking hole, counting leftward. Here, the 4th hole from the marking hole is the one that hasn't been sewn yet. Then ensure that both needles are in the same hole. Make sure the piping strip extends one hole more than the hand-sewn holes. Cut off the excess, ensuring you count carefully to avoid cutting too short. Then arrange all the materials in order, ensuring that the piping strip on the left wraps around the piping strip on the right, or in other words, the piping strip on the right should be on top. Make sure to remember the arrangement order here. When sewing the other side later, keep the arrangement consistent to ensure the finished bag looks neat. Then, sew the remaining holes as usual, and finally secure the thread to the underside. Here, there are multiple layers, which may make sewing a bit challenging. Please be patient and enjoy the process of sewing. Sew the other side using the same method. Ensure that the placement order of the piping strips is reversed on each side. This will keep the finished bag consistent. Now sew to the point where the piping strips meet. Note that here, you need to reverse it, so that the right piping strip wraps around the left piping strip, or you can think of it as the left piping strip being on top. Then use the same method to finish sewing. Take a look at the result after sewing. Then start turning the bag inside out. First, unzip the zipper. Turn one side of the bag as shown, ensuring to complete the turning in one go without stopping midway. Use your fist or fingertips to push out the edges. Avoid using your nails as it may damage the leather. Turn out the other side using the same method. After that, adjust the shape of the bag. This process takes about 30 minutes. I will demonstrate the method briefly here. Check to ensure that the piping strips on both sides are consistent. This is why it was important to pay attention to the order of placing the piping strips earlier. The leather barrel bag is finished. Thank you for choosing Babylon Leather. Wishing you the acquisition of valuable skills during your time here. If you've enjoyed our video, don't forget to like, comment, and share. For more information about this Babylon Leather DIY kit, check out the link and details in the description. Thanks for watching.